Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Artful Self Future podcast. Today, I've got a very special guest with me, G.
Yeah, I'm G. I'm the founder of Tesbros Inc., but now called DIY Rap Club.
Welcome in. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
So, for everybody that is, this is your first episode watching. This podcast is all about autonomous systems. We talk to people, in the industry of autonomous systems or people that are helping support autonomous systems, which G is here doing today, making a bunch of raps for Teslas, and then also, are we gonna have a rap for Optimus?
Absolutely. I mean, you gotta match your car, right, with Optimus.
Of
So if you
course.
did it in blue, you have to have an Optimus that's in blue.
Exactly. Yeah, I see very obvious, right?
Yeah.
Tesla's only showed a white one and a black one. We need more colors.
I mean, how sick would it be if it was like red, like your Roadster red?
Oh, that would be pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about, how you got here. What's your journey with Tesla? What we went from, I know you said you got the Model 3 in, 2018,
Mhm.
and then now you're here, right? Like where does that start? What was the first product? Where did you start, and then how did we get here?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been interested in, the Elon Musk, the Tesla, and I've always been an early adopter. So I wanted a Tesla for a long time, but I think in the 2016 and 17, it was still very expensive because the S and X is really the ones that you can buy, six figures. So when the Model 3 came out, it was a huge deal, right? But even back then, I think about it, I paid like 77 grand for that Model 3 back in 2018. So like I think back on it, I'm like, oh my goodness.
Was it an all-wheel drive long
It
range?
was a
Was it
real wheel
performance?
drive, dude, on the
Rear wheel
Midnight Silver Metallic.
77,000.
Yeah, but I added like everything, like
Yeah.
FSD,
Yeah.
all of that.
Mhm.
I forget how much I paid for FSD, but back then I think it was like
15, I think.
no, I think it was lower. I think it was 8,000
Oh,
actually.
really?
Yeah,
Huh.
I think because this is like the early.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That would make sense.
yeah, but yeah, I got that Model 3 and I did not think about starting a business,
Mm,
but it was so exciting. But like, we just started creating content. So like, the original name Tesla Bros, and they make Tesla Bros was just me and my brother, not blood brother, but like a friend that just wanted to help other Tesla owners, kind of because we're just so excited about the tech and we like their cars. So we started a blog and then we started a YouTube channel. And we actually did our first video, or me, on a Gen 2, how to install it. Um, and it like just took off,
yeah,
right? Because there just wasn't a lot of content around it.
right.
And from then on, we started with this door labels because on the 2018 Model 3, there wasn't like a indicator of how to open the door. So I mean, back then you have to use the manual door release, even now, but it wouldn't actually lower the window trim, right? So that not the window trim, but the window, which meant that it would damage the trim.
Yeah.
So we came out with this door label, and that absolutely took off, and then we became a business,
Yeah.
shortly after.
Yeah, so, I mean, what does that look like going from, starting to become finally a business and, selling these things to being in this massive warehouse that we have the privilege of being in today?
That's a long journey, It's like it's a lot of late nights for sure. Because I for the first 6 months, I kept my full time job, right, and I would basically not sleep. I would work till 4 a.m. cutting stickers on our Cricut, which is like a small little plotter. I mean,
Yeah.
now you see a lot of plotters here,
Yeah.
very big ones, very fancy ones. But it was just like figuring it out, and it was like full on adrenaline rush. Like I mean, you're a business, you're an entrepreneur yourself,
Yeah.
but when you like start like things just start clicking, and you just kind of keep going,
Yeah.
and then you figure out this problem and then that problem, and you just kind of snowballs, right?
Yeah.
And then if you like really focus on your customer or your ICP or whoever you're serving in the community, and you really put that first, the community feels it, right? So that's kind of what happened with us. It wasn't really like, I'm gonna start a business and make a lot of money. I'm not really money motivated either. So it's just like it was really about, I love this car, I want to support it, and I love our community. So we just kind of created one product to the next, and we really hit some really big ones. So the door label is a big one. And then we did center consoles, so the wrap for that.
Yeah.
So the competitors out there, they had one where basically it was like a 45-minute video. And I was like, there's no reason why someone needs to watch a 45-minute video. So we made one that was like a 5-minute video. And then we started doing this thing where we would cut it into sections. So they install it and I think most companies still don't do that. That's like one of our things that we do differently. And then the biggest one that we really hit was the Chrome delete. So, the Model 3 on the 18 was Chrome.
Yep.
Now they've changed that. That's all
Yeah, it was, I think, all till 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, my car has the chrome delete kit from Tesbros.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a huge one because if you took it to a shop, it would be like 750 all the way to like $1,400 to do. And we're like, it's really all labor. And I feel like if we cut in and we standardize that, then we could absolutely, make it possible. So we were able to bring that down to like 139, right? Or in sales, it's even lower.
Yeah.
And like you guys save money and then you can do it yourself, basically.
Right. Yeah.
So, but we've always kind of stayed. I mean, we've obviously have other stuff, but what we realize is we're really good with vinyl, PPF, and anything film related. And I think the reason why is like I'm not actually a rapper by trade. Like I just started when I started this company,
Yeah.
but because I'm not, I look at it very differently, right? And when you look at things differently, I really think about, okay, if you are going to install this yourself, how would you think about it, and what are the things that you're going to struggle with, and how can I design a product that would actually make it successful, right? So a lot of our products, it's funny because early days, my wife was my tester,
Mhm.
so she would install it, and I'm like, okay, if she can do it, anybody can, because she doesn't really do that stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was kind of like a good, very informal research that we did with a lot of our early products.
For sure. Yeah. What did it look like quitting your job? What was that like? I think that's a big, pivot point
Yeah.
for a lot of people when starting their business.
Yeah, so I had a really good stable job and with good career advancements, all that stuff. But I just wasn't challenged, I think, enough. And it was something that I've always wanted to start a business, and I didn't have kids back then. So I think it was like the right time for me. I wasn't quite 30 yet or anything like that. I was 27, I think. And it was just a really good time. And I felt like if I didn't do it now, I don't know if I could after I have kids, right? So I remember, obviously talked to my wife, and she was super supportive. So I'm really grateful for that. And she's like, okay, you'll figure it out. Go for it. And then I think the next like week, I told my boss that I'll be leaving the next semester. So I was teaching video production and journalism at Ole Miss prior to that.
Oh, very cool.
Yep.
Very cool. Yeah. So what did it look? So that was, a big point. And then how long after that was it before we had this facility?
So we went from like I started out in my bedroom,
Mhm.
and then my bedroom got too small, so I went to my living room. Wife got really mad that I was in the living room, so we went to the garage, two-car garage at my house, and then that was too small as well. And then we went to a 700 square feet office here in Chattanooga after we moved. And then 1 month later, we were out of space. So then we moved to 3,000 square feet here, which is the early building is the one all the way to the end here. And then we added more and more. And I think right now we're close to 20,000 square feet.
Wow.
But I think just what we do, we'll just need to get more space,
Yeah.
eventually, because we do manufacturing, we warehouse a lot of stuff, and then we're working with cars, so we need a lot of space.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think, this podcast, for those that don't know, it's all about, connecting autonomous systems to the real world, right?
Mhm.
What do these look like, right? Optimus, the humanoid robots in general, self-driving cars,
Yeah.
and all of that, right? And what about, originally whenever you first saw Autopilot fascinated you, and what did you see the future being like? And then how does that compare to, what we have now, right?
Yeah. It's kind of funny because like I think everybody that's now a Tesla owner or a Tesla space all have their story of like how they got into a Tesla,
Yeah.
right? But it's all very similar. It was like it kind of sounds like this, like we got access to a 2016 Model S for the first time, Autopilot 1.0 on Mobileye, but we went 0 to 60 this one time. We felt this exhilarating speed that was instantaneous, and then we just quickly fell in love with it, right?
Yeah.
And then we tried the Autopilot 1, which, like, you look back now and be like, "Oh my god, that's how bad it was." But back then, it was still, like, ridiculously, like, mind-blowing,
Yeah. There
right?
was no lane centering in
Yeah,
2016.
yeah,
That's a new thing.
and it was literally, like, the basically, the technology before that was the cruise control, right? It doesn't do lane centering. It doesn't do I mean, maybe higher ends car had a little bit of the centering and stuff, maybe, but like that wasn't really as common yet, right? So like for us to experience autopilot and do some of those curvy and turns in a pretty decent way, there was a lot of phantom braking though, right on the
Yeah.
1.0,
Yeah, yeah.
but it was just fascinating, and we just quickly fell in love with it, and that's how the company was born, not by accident, but just out of an excitement of it all.
Yeah. So, one little thing. I have a question about a product that was released.
Uh-huh.
Where did the robotaxi sticker start? Right? Where did the idea for that start? I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
we know the robotaxis in Austin, but how did that end up being a thing?
But yeah, that I mean, I think it's just one of those things. Like we listen to our customers, and I think we should even more now. But we listen to our customers as much as we can. So I mean, it really just came out of the hey, can I please get robotaxi stickers? Because I'm honestly using FSD all the time. Mine is a robotaxi.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like we kind of changed the logo a little bit. It's very subtle, but it's not exactly the same, right?
Mhm.
As the robotaxi that Tesla offers. And then we offered it. So a lot of our products come mostly out of that. It's not really what we want. It's always about what our community wants.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
I also have a personal question about the warehouse that we're in right now.
Uh-huh.
Where did this come from?
So we rebranded. We wanted to rebrand. So we were Tesla Bros, and then we went to Tesbros. We you can't put Tesla anywhere, right? But I mean, we were so small back then. But we went Tesbros, and then we wanted to have a name that was a little bit more open, so it's not just Tesla.
Right.
We are very much cornered into that Tesla space, and we drive Teslas, but at the same time, if we want to continue scaling, we have to offer more as well. So we found a local artist. Her name's right there, Olivia Record, amazing artist, and she basically had this vision, and we kind of gave her some ideas, but
Mhm.
she just took it and then basically put like that's the Model 3 because that's such an important car for us
For sure.
because that's what we started with, right?
Mhm.
And then obviously the Cybertruck really changed the game in color change, right? And then we have our name in the center, and then the Jeep is what we started it with next, which I also have a Jeep right now. And then we're gonna get into Toyotas as well.
Oh,
So
very cool. Very
so
cool.
I think eventually we would be the hub that really advances customization, protection, and then really helps other community members be able to do it themselves, save a lot of money, and achieve what they want to achieve.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Yeah,
This is
happy to be a part of it.
yeah. Let's go into that a little bit more, right? Where did we meet? At what event?
Yeah, we met at this amazing event called Chattanooga Charge. Literally, what, like a month ago?
uh
Almost a blur.
I think that you and me originally met at the 2025 Chattanooga Charge.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right.
Yeah, and then we
Yeah,
end up talking a little bit more
yeah,
at this last one. Yeah.
crazy.
That's how this episode came to be.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing about the community, and also like the G community of Toyota. Like we try to find those kind of communities, but it's so tight knit, and like
Sure.
we all share this common bond of like this excitement for this technology, right? For Teslas and FSDs, and we all kind of have the same problems too. So it's just kind of like we we get together, we solve things together, and that's what makes this community so great.
Yeah. So, we were talking a little bit earlier about, your drive here from Knoxville.
Hmm.
You don't have to touch anything, right?
Yeah, none.
With seeing the progression of FSD, was there, a solid point where you're like, we're gonna get there, right?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people were like, we're gonna get there, but there's a chance we don't, right? But there everybody has their point where it's like, okay, it'll be solved or it's already solved.
Yeah.
What was that point for you?
It was the point when my wife started using it every day because she's a huge skeptic.
Hmm.
Not a huge skeptic, but she's not an early adopter like me, right? I update every time, the moment I get it, right?
Yeah.
And like it was that good where my wife was like, and this is only like probably 6 months ago,
Mm,
but I really think the AI move and all the like new advancements in AI really expedited a lot of that
yeah.
progress. And they were just outputting a lot more code as well, right?
Yeah.
So
The end to end.
yeah, yeah. So I mean that really, and it's actually continuously doing that with the Terafab and a lot more advancement in Grok and all this stuff. So it's going to continue to move even faster. So we talk about the 14.3 that just came out, right? And then Elon already talked about 15, right? At some point. So I
Yeah.
mean, like all of that is just advancing that quickly.
Yeah, I mean, if we think about it, these versions are very much like iOS updates, right? You have the newest version, right? Every single time, and you can even think about it. Even how there's the standard and then advanced settings
Yeah.
on
Yep.
receiving updates.
Yep.
It's the same thing of the Apple beta program where you can
Mhm.
get the public betas, right? It's do you want to go forward and test these great new software?
Yeah. I mean, it really is in the last year, I would say that I was like, wow, this is gonna come quick,
Yeah,
and I think having been through all the versions and all these different cars, it's just for you drive a hardware 3,
yeah,
and there's still a big gap though, right?
there is.
Like we were
It's pretty night and day.
Yeah, it is pretty night and day. And you were talking about highway, it's fine, right? But once you get into the streets, and I was just in LA and using a hardware for Model Y, and I was probably 99% FSD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, really, whenever you go to a new city, for me, I'd rather have FSD on than myself,
Dude,
right?
totally. It's so hard because like I don't go to LA enough and like I don't know which highway exit to take. And it's like LA is one of those like you miss that exit, it's like a really long way for the next one, right? So now you lost like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
So
sure.
just put it on FSD. You're good.
Right. Yeah. And it's even like my big sentiment has been that FSD is, it's super safe, even on hardware 3, right?
Mhm.
I don't think FSD alone, if you jump in the passenger seat, I don't
Mhm.
think it's safer than a human, hardware 3.
Yeah.
Now, in the driver's seat, when I'm ready to take over, that's not only safer, but I think it's like hundreds of times safer, right?
Yeah.
Because now you don't just multiply, right?
Yeah.
It's like taking, a human would, kind of doze off for a second every once in a while or lose their attention on something else.
Mhm.
And those times where you lose attention, it's not going to be the same time that FSD messes up generally, right?
Mhm.
They're only offset. So the actual amount of time until an accident, I think, is way higher. And even
100%.
even hardware 3, right? Now you take a supervised hardware 4
Yep.
exponentially,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, this morning is another good example, right? Like I had a red eye. I'm tired, right? Super tired driving it back here. And my car doesn't get tired. I mean, it will lose battery, right? But it doesn't get tired, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't feel tired. And then there was this one movement that I've never seen this do this. Is basically like it was turning into a yield, right? Just a left turn on a four-way, and it went a little too far out, right? Because he thought it was gonna turn, and then it turned red,
Mhm.
like and then it actually reversed back
Yeah,
on FSD. Like I wouldn't have thought about doing that just because I was tired, right? So my decision making is compromised if you're tired,
for
but
sure.
FSD was not, and it was able to reverse back. And then once it turned green again, it went.
Excited for reverse on hardware 3.
It doesn't do that
It
yet.
does not. It
Oh,
does not.
okay,
No, it just goes forward. It,
okay.
it it acts like it wants to reverse, and you can see it on the path planner, but it doesn't actually reverse.
Uh,
It's unable to shift. That's what it seems.
that's right. I mean, even like the front camera, right in the bottom,
Yeah.
that helps a lot. So like it'll see like I've seen it very consistently now. If there's like debris on the road, it will swerve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing I even see on a hardware 3 is like they're
Yep.
they're constantly updating it, right?
Yep.
And it's started to move over for like roadkill
Hmm.
and sometimes if the pothole's big enough, it'll actually move out of the way for it. So that's super interesting.
Hmm.
Um yeah, tell me a little bit more about what it's like behind the scenes at Chattanooga Charge and setting up this massive community event where people get to meet each other from, all walks of life, all places on, Earth. I know there was, Captain Ellie flew in from I think Italy, was that correct?
Yeah. Yeah. He's
So
everywhere.
we have people from all over the world
Yeah.
coming into this event. They get to meet each other, and the people that are we talk to almost every day on X or people that are just sitting there. They're not even the ones that comment. They just want to come up and see everything and meet new people that they get to see on X all the time. What is it like for you getting to the original event helping to set that up and then now kind
Yeah.
of just being over that whole deal behind the scenes and
Yeah, I wouldn't say we're over it. I think who really deserves the credit is
Josh Hazel.
Josh and Amanda and
Yeah, huge.
that group of
The,
people. I think the way it started was Diane from Colorado
mhm.
was like, we should do it in Chattanooga, and we've known Diane for a good bit and interact a lot with on X, and it just was like, okay, let's do it, and then we just kind of supported it more so and kind of
Yeah,
help produce it. Obviously, I just try to be as helpful as possible, but I would say it's really the community, and the thing is like I I don't know. I haven't been in a lot of communities,
mhm,
but like this community is one of the most like helpful,
for sure.
right? I think sometimes there's a little bit of negativity around it, but like it is for the most part very, very positive and
Yeah,
helpful, and they just all want to help and just chip in.
this community is it's one thing that I know I've said almost every episode now.
Yeah,
It's a community that I feel free going to like Chattanooga Charge and somebody, needs to run and go grab something from a store,
yeah,
throw them my key card.
yeah,
Feel free. I don't even need to know you, right?
yeah,
You're in everybody knows everybody here. And
yep,
it's just such an amazing community. I think it's next level.
yeah. I mean, like when we were doing it this year,
Mhm.
Captain Ellie and Joe and Doug and all these guys were here, and they're just like, "What do we do to help? What do you do to help?" I'm like, and they're just ready to help all the time, you know.
For
So
sure.
that's what I'm saying. It's really not us. It's really
The
the
community.
the community that really makes it happen. So
For sure.
it's hard to say that it's us
Yeah, and huge thanks to Josh Hazel again for setting
and
the whole
Amanda.
thing up.
Yep,
Yeah, and Amanda. Yeah, they've
great
done a
people.
great job, and
Hmm.
I think we're doing 2027, right?
Yeah, and then they also got a lot of support from like Michigan and all the other Tesla Owners Club,
For sure.
Mississippi, and it was a fun event with all the other
Yeah.
owners club.
Yeah. Are
Mhm.
you going to any other events sometime soon?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about. I know the Michigan is like the next one, right?
Yep.
It's in June.
Yeah.
Um,
Just for y'all, I'll be speaking at that one.
yep. So is it Muskegon? Muskegon?
Muskegon. Yes.
Muskegon.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. That's Elon Muskegon.
Yeah.
And then I guess the takeover, right? The
Yeah.
takeover
Next
is a big
takeover.
one,
That's
right?
a big
So
one.
the X takeover is going to be huge. Tesla owner Silicon Valley does an amazing job. Besides, they've done so much for the community as well. So that's kind of what it means. Like that 2018, a lot of kind of influencers and people who do what they do were kind of came out of that era. And so I still stay in contact with a lot of them as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, how can people find you?
So you can go to DIYWrapClub.com. You can find a bunch of accessories or DIY wrap kits, PPF kits, all that. And then you could follow us at DIY Wrap Club on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, pretty much everything. Um, we try to do our best in trying to educating and that's really empower other Tesla owners and other vehicle owners to do a lot of that DIY. So DIYWrapClub.com.
Yeah, and one more thing before we close out this episode, that Roadster wrap. Let's get this on recording. I'm getting a free Roadster wrap if I get the Roadster, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you guys
Yeah.
heard it here first.
Yeah. We'll hook you up.
Alrighty,
Let's do
sounds
it.
good. Alrighty. Now when Optimus wrap?
Oh man, as soon as we get our hands on it.
Alrighty,
Every
sounds
time
good.
I'm looking at it, because I was at a Tesla diner and they have
Yeah,
the basically like the Gen, right? Gen 1, Gen
yeah.
2. It's really cool.
And we
Um,
had one at Chattanooga Charge, which was
that
crazy.
was super cool, the shell, right?
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I'm always studying it. I'm going, okay, how can I wrap this, right? Like how can I, make this red and all that stuff. So we're definitely gonna do a DL wrap kit because I mean you gotta go from if you have a red wrap car, you're gonna have your, Optimus red as well.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Alrighty, thank you guys for watching this episode or listening into this episode. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and may your drives be smooth and autonomous.
Yeah.